Welcome to Call the Wild Tutorials, and today we're out here on Silver Ridge Peaks and we're going to be talking about collars. So let's go into our storage here and we're going to go into our collars. So there's a few things we need to know first. First we need to know what animals we're going to be hunting for. Here on SRP I was going to be hunting mule deer, but as you can see I put elk in here, but I put these deer collars in here for a reason. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So as you can see, when you click on a collar, you can see that it has the affected species change from collar to collar. For example, on the snortweeze collar, we have white-tailed deer, springbok, blue wildebeest, lesser kudu, and sika deer. When we go down to the bleak collar, though, we can see that white-tailed deer is also listed, and sika deer is also listed. So that means there's two collars for them. But then when we go down to the grunt collar, we can see that white-tailed deer and sika deer are also listed for these collars as well. And so that leaves us the question, which collar are we going to choose for hunting white-tailed or sika deer? Well, you can see this is our base collar right here that you get in-game, the bleat collar. And you notice other details behind it, the range, the duration, and attraction strength. So the range is self-explanatory. That means animals can hear this from about 100 or around 150 meters away. The duration is 90 seconds. Now, the interesting point about duration, that's a real-world time. So this duration, it lasts a minute and a half, which when you translate that to in-game time is 6 minutes in-game time. And then, of course, the attraction strength is 50. But then if we go to the snortweeze collar, we can see that the range now is 200, but the attraction strength is only 40, so there's a compromise. The further distance, less attraction strength. And then again with the grunt collar, more distance the more range we can get, but once again the attraction strength goes down. Now which one should you pick or should you use if there's more than one collar for your animal? Well, it all depends on the circumstances that you're hunting. I personally like to go for attraction strength rather than range. But there might be times where, maybe it's a drink zone and I'm wondering if there's any deer up in the trees and I'm about 200 meters away or 150 meters away. I might use this collar just to see if I can draw any of those that are up in the trees or in the bushes down closer to me. So that's always a good rule to keep in mind. Now, if you want to see if a certain species that you're hunting has a collar, you can go into the codex to find that out. Because not all species have collars. For example, goats, bison, ibex, they don't have collars for those species. So to find out, let's go, for example, to black bear. And when we go into the codex under the animal, it tells us all that wonderful information, what class of animal it is. But it also tells us at recommended equipment that we need class 7 ammo and we need the distressed fawn collar. Same if we go to, for example, to black-tailed deer. We can go to the recommended equipment. It tells us that we can use either the bleat collar or the grunt collar, or we can use black-tail scent. So we're going to talk about scent and how to use scents in a later video. Today we're just talking collars, but you can see you can use two different collars for the black-tailed deer and so on. So it's a quick reference if you know exactly the animal you're hunting for to see whether or not it has a collar. You go into the codex and see if you can find it there. Now we're just going to travel over to this stand here. And as you could hear, we had a mule deer calling, and we're going to see if we can call this mule deer in a little closer to us. So we made it in here into our stand, and we know we have a mule deer in the area. Oh, there he is right there. And he caught scent of us, so that's just not going to work. So we're going to have to go to a different spot here to try out the collars. So going into the tree stand proved to be a bit of a bust, so our wind was bad. So we came down here and we have some elk eating here. And they're 170 meters out, so we're just going to give a call and see if they come in. Now they should, there we go, we'll see them. Well, they should come in right away does usually respond really well to the calls. It's usually the harder males that don't come running in right away. They kind of need a little bit of coaxing. Now remember that it with an elk collar, I do believe we're going to check our inventory here. It has a duration once again of 90 seconds, so that's 1.5 minutes real world time, so 6 minutes in game. And so you don't have to spam your collars like crazy. It's just not necessary. But every time that you do use that collar, it resets that 90-second timer. And it'll start that clock all over again. So once again, we're going to try to get them real close in here. We're going to see if we can get them with a bow. Or one of them with a bow. And like I said, you just wait. Now, the biggest thing about collars is they're, you don't want to be moving toward the animal when you use them. They're more of a stationary tool. As you can see, the animals are coming to us. So if we were moving through the woods and then we used a collar, you know, that animal might come in from the side. It might come in from behind us. We don't know. And if we're moving, or it might be coming towards us, and if we're moving, we're going to scare it away. So you want to be as stationary as you possibly can. Don't move. It's great for in a stand, blind. And so you can see they kind of lost interest. We're going to give another little bugle here and see if we can draw them in a little bit closer. See, here they come. So you don't want to be moving is what I'm getting at, because they're going to come towards wherever you called. And so there's no need to, you know, move through the woods bugling away. They're going to come to where you are. I'm just going to reposition here just so I'm in a little bit of a better spot. And so we're going to get our bow out here. And we should be able to get a nice bow shot. Now hopefully that I don't walk into my wind here. I think they're going to, so we're just going to reach up here and take one of these just like that. So hopefully, friends, that is a good enough explanation. We got a nice vital organ hint here on how to use collars in Call of the Wild. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Also, leave a like, subscribe if you want. We truly appreciate the support we've been getting. So from Call of the Wild tutorials out here on beautiful Silver Ridge Peaks, happy hunting.